in 2015, he will become probably a minister or something else. Look, I have even seen one who decided that he is coming back to be councillor. My people from Benue State, have I said something? I think you know this story. A deputy governor ended his tenure and became councillor. I said what is, because I know this story. He contested, served as a deputy governor, his tenure ended. Instead of coming with a small boy to go and be councillor, he turned and be councillor. So every day he will be relevant. Praise the Lord. I am not praising the Lord because of that bad attitude. I am only praising the Lord because I am in the presence of God's people. Because that is a shame. But he did it with pride. And some people will even justify it and say, no, he wants to show humility. Habba, only you? Why don't he become councillor for free? We won't pay him one dime. And ask him as a councillor whether he ever show up at the council. Those in power never want to give up power. So Pharaoh was never ready to allow the children of Israel go. Talk much more about giving them the power of self-rule or determination. But God told Moses he was aware of the suffering of his people. And I want to tell the church, the suffering of Christians in Nigeria, God is aware of it. I say the sufferings of Christians in Nigeria, God is aware of it. Moses needed to go and gather elders and discuss the need for their freedom. What we are looking for today in Nigeria is a Moses who may probably be a coward yesterday but having received a call from God can now go and confront the powers that be. I read so many of these messages. I think it is mostly from a particular geographical area or question yesterday. No, how do we join politics when in politics they force us to take an oath to belong to a cult? Brother, I can tell you that is not politics. It is just a practice of some people. Because political parties are associations of people who come to seek for political power. In one country or one state in Nigeria, this issue of cult happened and taking of oath. Our understanding from distance and what we are studying is simple. If I help you, since we are all ungodly people, and I help you to get office, we make you take an oath so that all the good, juicy money that will come, you will give it to us. So you take oath. But no one can tell me that the oath was because of the party. Neither was the oath because of politics. No, the oath was simply for the office and the juicy money they will get. Many ordinary people don't know anything about oath taking. The oath taking is for people who are greedy and want to continue to be greedy. And that's why they kidnapped and adopted and almost impeached one governor and something do not last. So we are familiar with this. There are societies in Nigeria that this issue of cult do not arise. Yes, there are cabals who manipulate and take charge of everything, but not cultism. And all this thing is about interest. And most of the interest is about money, power. So don't assume because there is cultism in politics in your land and you think it is the ideal situation. No. If you can mobilize and galvanize more Christians, more godly people to enter into politics, we will chase them away. How many votes do they have? The reason is that probably there are only 3 godly people and there are 1,000 cult people. If we can mobilize 1,500 godly people, we will chase them out. Yeah, they used to come with talks. But listen, if all families begin to bring up their children in the fear of the Lord, time will come that they will no longer have a talk that they are going to use. We have poor home upbringing. Many of us don't even care about our children. So when our children leave home and have no food to eat and someone is offering them 5,000, 2,000 and want them to do evil, they will do it to get money. Have you seen among us today, even among Christians, who say they want an ideal situation? You, papa and mama, no fit buy phone for 50 naira. But your daughter is using a phone of 200,000 and you don't ask questions. I tell people proudly that I'm grateful to God that God has blessed me in his way. But my children, my first daughter is in her 500 level reading pharmacy. But I can never allow her hold an expensive phone. That's me. And she loves me. People who know me know how my children love me. I will tell her, no, the day you hold that in school, you will not read again. They will start eyeing you. They will start thinking something about it. Some of us parents are not doing what is right. We tempt our children to become greedy of things, fashionable things, and when they get someone who will pay the bills, they jump for him. Why will there not be talks? Thuggery is because the society is not doing something right. If we can stand firm, we will change thuggery. If every father, every mother seated here will start with his own children, thuggery will change. Don't even talk about other people's children. Let them see your children behaving well. My northern brothers know that I have always argued with them when they tell me that they used to steal our daughters. They used to, I tell them they don't steal daughters, they steal greedy daughters. When your daughter see sugarcane, she won't drink. When your daughter see wrapper, she won't take. When your daughter see naira, she won't collect. How will they not go with her? I cite simple example. Go to Abuja, go to Kano. There are prostitutes on the street. They don't steal them. But the moment they see a small girl that is greedy, they will go away with her. So let's teach our children to do right. And thuggery will have no ground, because when your daughter becomes pregnant and you chase her away, she will give birth to another thug. So if the thugs were 1 million last year, they will become 2 million next year. So we must change. Let's not allow them intimidate us. Moses was afraid, thinking that, oh, how can I confront this power and stop it? But brothers, if God is for us, no one can be against us. Whenever you are sure God is calling you into politics, go and trust God for favor. The Bible says, the heart of the king is in the hands of God, and God can turn it to every direction like a what? Watercourse. I've listened to many people in Lagos tell me so many things that, no, they've been cheating us, they never gave Christians. Now Christian make Ambode governor. Lagos, now Christian make Ambode governor. You know that the man who stood behind Ambode was not a Christian. I believe simple in the principle of the power of God. The heart of the king is in God's hand. And when God chooses to turn it to the direction that will favor us, even the king himself will do it. See, if we can do it right and penetrate right, they may cheat us one time, but God can also use them to give us what rightfully belongs to us. Kaduna State suffered so many years without a Christian governor. We were thinking it can never happen. On this convention ground, not in Port Harcourt, in Abuja, Patrick Yakowa was then the deputy governor. He came, and Daddy, you asked him to come up and you prayed for him. 1 month after that prayer, the story changed. Am I speaking to somebody here? Oh, they thought that it was just for the Christmas. He contested election and won. And we changed the story. Nobody believes that a Christian would have won election in Kaduna State. But the story changed. Though he died, but there is that courage that young men know that tomorrow they can also contest and they can also win. Because we have changed the history. Sometimes we just give in cheaply. We assume they can. We claim that our God is a big God. There's this old and popular song, I have a very big God who he's always by my side. People come, you give in as if God is not by your side. Enemies of the church in Nigeria, Christian the leadership. Yeah. If you believe it, go forward and see. They will be the ones to strategize and it will not work, and they will come back and say, let's give one of these people. And the story will change from there. But if we are not there, if they turn around and they cannot find anyone, they will give among themselves. Let's not forget stories of Daniel, Nehemiah, Ezra, Esther, and others who serve in the king palace. And they influence decisions and policies, even when the situation were not favorable. Christians should not be afraid. Instead, they should be bold, they should be active, and have faith in God when going into politics. Things may not work. There's this part that I wanted to say and I missed it. When the children of Israel, or when Moses was asked to go to Israel and tell Pharaoh to let him go, there was one additional promise that God gave him. God said that he will make even the Egyptians to favor Israel. Is that true? And you think God cannot make others to favor us? God will make them favor us. Power is not what they give you free of charge. But when God is in it, he can change everything. As a way of conclusion, the church has a spiritual and moral responsibility to make this country move forward. The poverty, bad governance, and corruption in this country today is because of the failure of the church to rise righteous men to be in power. When I go through the national anthem, and I say the composer of our national anthem must have been inspired by God to put those godly words for us to reflect about. Though many of us seated here don't even know the anthem. And we hardly even remember the words. What we do always is we listen to the music and we finish peace and unity. But the national anthem is more than peace and unity. And I put it down if you have your program. Arise, O compatriots. If you have it, can we all read it together? Arise, O compatriots. Nigeria call obey. To serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with heart and might, one nation bound in freedom, peace, and unity. The second stanza, please. O God of creation, direct our noble cause. Guide thou our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know. In love and honesty to grow, and living just and true, great lofty height attain, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Listen, the situation today in Nigeria may not have been going on well. But listen, no responsible person will abandon his home just because some members of his family are not behaving well. Did you get that? No responsible person will abandon his home because some people in the family are not behaving well. Doing such will only allow those who are not behaving well to destroy everything. Many of us have abandoned the governance of our country because some people are killing, because some people are cheating. That's why we need to wake up so that we'll chase them away. There is no force on earth that is beyond the force of people. When people come together collectively, no force can stand them. Not even the force of army and their guns. Power is not what anyone will wake you up and remind you to come and take. If you are sleeping and you are waiting for them to remind you, no day. That one till you die. Power is what you must consciously fight to get. And in Nigeria, fight to get it through active participation and involvement in all the process that leads to attaining it. And the popular process is politics. In Kaduna State, in 1987, history was made when the famous Islamic clerics called Sheikh Gumi preached and said, and I quote, that according to Islam, no non-Muslim should govern him. Christians listened to him and looked inward and realized that he said that because of our mistake. And they went back home. How do we do? Then it was option A4. It's not the political party style. They now start looking for who they will use to show this man that his power is limited. And do you know what happened? Kaduna people, you remember, they never find anybody that was suitable. They find a Baptist pastor, Reverend John Aboki. Do you remember that story? They came to him. Baba, come, salvage the situation. You are a son of the soil. He reluctantly, because he was teaching then at our Baptist pastor school, now in the theological seminary, he reluctantly agreed to serve. We made history that year. We put the man and his message to shame. We voted Reverend John Aboki as the chairman of Kaduna local government. Then it was Kaduna local government. Today it's almost 4 local government because there is Kaduna North, part of Chukun, Kaduna South, and Igabi. Nobody believes that. And let me tell you the one that sweet us more. He said by his religion, a woman cannot lead him. We voted one Grace Cheche in his constituency to become the councillor. Kaduna's people, do you remember that story? So why should someone tell us that we should be afraid? We have not just tried it. We have not just picked the courage. If we pick the courage, we will change the story. So we have stories, we have something to refer to, references to make. That when we were pushed to the wall, we wake up from our slumber. And when we wake up from our slumber, we show the world who we are. We can do the same again in Jesus' name. Christians may not necessarily be seeking for office. Christians can also become kingmakers. Brothers, another part of politics that many people don't know. People believe that if you go to politics, you must contest office. No. Not everybody is good at contesting. But you can be good at making kings. Some of us have not tried that. So those of you who are dreaming to go to politics, I want to tell you that you could go to politics not necessarily to be anything, but be a kingmaker. Anybody who wants to become councillor will come and seek your blessings. Anybody who wants to become chairman will come and seek your blessings. Anybody who wants to go to House of Assembly, Senate, Governor, President will seek for your blessings. I say this with high sense of responsibility and humility. As tiny as this young pastor Hayab stands before you, not less than 5 of those who want to be president of Nigeria have called me and asked me to speak with them because they want my blessing. Why? Because along the year, we have actively get involved to the extent that they know the kind of influence we can give. And since they know the kind of influence we can give, they believe we can contribute. So I may not seek for political office, but I will continue to play the role of a kingmaker. I say this so that some of you who are afraid, look, when you go to seek for political office, it becomes a little bit difficult, and then you talk about where is money. A kingmaker is powerful. He has no money, but they listen to him because they know he will stand and just say one small word, and things will spoil. Is that not true? So they will not want him to say that bad word. So they will greet him. You may not be Your Excellency. You see, I belong to the Baptist Church, my president. Some of them who don't understand feel that the best way they will show me respect is to come and say Your Grace. And I laugh. I am not Your Grace. I'm just an ordinary Reverend Joseph Hayab. Influence. And I can see many pastors. I'm happy Pastor Chris Lere is the one chairing or moderating today. And I have heard his name severally and the influence and the efforts in the pilgrimage thing. Influence. 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 I pray that God will raise men and women of influence in the Baptist Church in Jesus' name. I want to conclude by recommending the following. Our pastors must start preaching and teaching about politics and nation building. Our sermons should not only be about going to heaven. Our sermons should contribute and tell people that before you reach heaven, this is how you live your life. Because some of us will still have 60, 70, 80 years to live here on earth before we go to heaven. How can you live for all your 80 years here in suffering? I'm not sure God says that everything about your 80 years should be suffering. Yes, heaven is the ultimate, but here on earth, begin to make impact. So let's tell our members, let's encourage them and preach it. The church must not shy away from encouraging her members to form and join political parties. Many of those who sent questions yesterday were asking us, can we then form our political party? I think the president answered that question. There are many political parties that are not controlled by the people you think. Those political parties are being controlled by our people. But I have said this, and I said this yesterday, that sometimes, because we don't understand the politicking, we could register a political party, and the political party cannot even kill a fly. Because since we don't know the politicking, they will come and still grab the political party from us and be the owners of the party. So, but when you understand politicking and you register your party, then you can reach out for others. Reach out for others. See, It is erroneous for you to register a party and only tell the people of South-South. That party will end in South-South. Why don't you go to the North? Why don't you go to the East? Why don't you go to the West? Get people across. Because anybody who is coming to join your party and understand that the 3 or 5 people who make up the trustees of the party are of the same tribe, of the same area, he will begin to doubt your party. If you are smart enough to come and ask them to be your chairman of your company, why don't you come and call some of us also to be part of your party? If I, Reverend Hayab, may not join your party, I will ask 1 or 2 of my members to join your party. And then we can use your party to seek for councillorship in Kaduna, use your party to seek for councillorship in Gombe, use your party to seek for councillorship in Adamawa. By the time you have 5, 6 councillors across other parts of Nigeria, your party is a national party. The church or church members who choose to join politics must never be despised or treated as ungodly. Many of us despise our church members who go to politics. One of the person who sent his question yesterday said, even in choice of deacons, that when they want to choose deacon, they will say anybody who is in politics must not be deacon. And I was surprised because I don't know that practice in the Baptist church. But someone asked that question. Is there anywhere in the Baptist church that says deacons must not go to politics? And you are choosing deacon and you say because this man is a politician so he cannot be a deacon? Interestingly, in Emmanuel Baptist Church, Sabon Tesha, one of the church closest to me, ordained the current member of the House of Assembly, who is also a Baptist, as a deacon last year. Am I right, Pastor? Because he is here. And we celebrated him. And I know how committed he is. He has always been with us in the planning committee of our conference. When we go there, he is not a honorable member. He is a member of our church. I served with him in the last 40th anniversary committee. Today, I know very well that there are about 3 or 4 Baptist members who are members of the House of Assembly of Kaduna State House of Assembly. That means we are making progress in Kaduna. So we can also say we are a model for others to follow. And interestingly, when you go to among the commissioners, we also have Baptist members. The Barnard Chapel, you have your member who is the commissioner of youth and sport. He is the one who has served long. They have never even changed him. That's true. They've been reshuffling orders, but it seems he's doing well. They are allowing him to continue. So I am proud. I met him in Ilori when I came for convention, only to realize we were in the same hotel with him. He also attended the convention. So our people are doing well. We only need to encourage you to do more. Those who despise members because they join politics, please stop it. The Baptist Church must identify and encourage any of our members who seek for political office. Well, sometimes there is confusion here. We are not asking the church to be announcing his political activity. But if my member is seeking for political office, I, as a pastor, I should pray for him. And I will not be ashamed to pray for him publicly and privately. It is left for members to decide because they know him more than I do. The church needs to establish a Christian consultative unit. I am happy because I know the Nigerian Baptist Convention have actually agreed and will soon be approving the Ecumenism and Interfaith unit or directorate, which main work will be for them to relate and liaise with our politicians so that they can guide them through. Many of our politicians, once they enter into politics, they don't even see us, they don't even hear from us. They don't even know we exist. And let me tell you politics. If your son is the senator and you sit at home waiting for him to come, others will follow him to the chamber. They will greet him in the morning, greet him in the evening, greet him in the afternoon, greet him on the late night, remind him so many things, and you are sitting at home waiting. No connection between you and him. The moment they give them that bogus allowance, the first people he will turn and see are those people. And he will give it to them. And you will be saying, he's not helping people. Brother, he cannot jump these ones that are already here. But when we get close to them, we relate with them, we call them, we prayed for them, we advise them. Oh, member, I heard that you people are discussing one bill. And the bill have to do with gay marriage. You know, I'm praying for you as your pastor because I don't want you to put your hand in what will destroy your image. Have you finished the message? Yes. You don't even need to say further. He will go and change. The next day he will say, I have question about this bill. And that's how the bill will die. But we don't communicate with them. What we do is that we wait for fundraising. On launching day, he is the chairman of our fundraising. He is the chief launcher of our fundraising. Since he knows you don't trust him, you only need his money, he takes advantage of the fundraising and be popular and run away. If we treat our members who are in politics as our own, the way we treat them during fundraising, they will continue to run back to us. The church must or should develop working document with biblical and godly principles that will guide Christians in politics and government. The church must mobilize church members to update their voters card and ensure that they go out and vote in every election. No election is irrelevant. Whether it is election of delegates, or election of councillors, or election of chairman, or election of governor, or election of president. Every election is important. I pray that our church in the Nigerian Baptist Convention will begin to do what is right. I stumbled across this quote and I want to read it as a way of finishing. It is written by Bertolt Brecht. He says, the worst illiterate is the political illiterate. He doesn't hear, he doesn't speak, nor participate in the political event. He doesn't know that the cost of life, the price of beans, the price of fish, flour, rent, shoe, and medicines all depends on political decisions. The political illiterate is so stupid that he is proud and swell his chest, saying that he hates politics. He continued, the imbecile doesn't know that from his political ignorance is born the prostitute. From his political ignorance is born the abandoned child. From his political ignorance is born the worst of all thieves. It is also from his political ignorance the bad and corrupted politicians have their way. So wake up and let's say enough is enough.
Hallelujah. Can you say to yourself, something must change in me? Something must change about me. And something must change with me. I know some of us still have questions. We can write them as usual and give to the ushers. And the few ones that our lecturer could attend to, he will. But before then, the president has something he wants to say about the lecture while we are getting ready with the questions. Thank you.
Let me remind us of part of what brought Ambode to the Lagos people as governor. It was political consciousness and political mobilization by the Christians. When Tinubu was to choose successor to Tunde Raji Fashola, he was going for a Muslim. But we, our Christian Nation of Nigeria, national level, decided to contact this southwest zone of Khan, headed by Archbishop Professor Atilade. And we gave him instruction to mobilize all the state Khan chairmen and go to the state house in Lagos and tell him, you can no longer take Christians for a ride. If you pick a Muslim to succeed Muslim with the large population of Christians in Lagos, we will not fight with you, but you can't have that position. I think, okay, Babanide, is he here? Where is he? Níbo ní tí à ń dún fínfín lọ́ọ̀kan. Where is he? That's okay, Babarinde. He was in that meeting. He was part of the team that went to the State House to go and meet Fashola to communicate that message to Tinubu. If you pick a Christian, be sure your party will produce the next governor. If you don't, we will let you know how strong we are in Lagos. And that changed the game. That changed the game. When we are united and we are politically conscious. When you are united, you are politically conscious, then take your political action. The three go together. So this laissez-faire attitude of us must change if we want a better Nigeria and a better future. The Yoruba people say, Oju awo lawo fi gbobe. You pour the soup into the face of the plate, not at the back. So it must be inside the face of the soup, not at the back of the soup. All Christians must see that it is their face that is involved, not their back. Number 2. Let us bring all politicians in our local churches to a round table conference with the church council. And let them know that they are going out as the ambassador of the church. Continue to interact with them, pray for them, encourage them. Let them also know that they are accountable. As the lecturer said, don't treat them as lepers again. No leper cannot help you because a leper is sick. A leper is sick and the leper needs a healer. Finally, I did announce that by the coming Sunday, 29th of April, all Christian churches must do peaceful protests around their church premises, and you will invite television to cover it. You will carry placard. We say no to bloodshed in Nigeria as from now. Enough is enough. I can't wait until another person is killed. Every day is bloodshed now in Nigeria. It doesn't matter. International communities, they are not taking it as anything strange anymore. How many of you are aware that somebody drove into the community of people yesterday in Toronto and killed people? Where were you? Don't you know that if you come for a meeting like this, you need extra time to wake up? I woke up 3 a.m. I prayed and I checked the internet because I must have awareness. Many people want to see my reaction on things, and I must not be too late in acting. So it calls for dedication, extra time. He just drove the vehicle, the bus, into the midst of the crowd. Killed 10 people instantly. Many people injured, they are in hospital. The entire world is already reacting. Outrage. But Fulani herdsmen, killed 20 in Benue. Was it yesterday or the day after? They are continuing to kill them like that. They will, God forbid, they will soon finish Benue if care is not taken. And there is a government. And thank God, those of you who are very close to corridor of power, you are here. Senator Mamora has come. Thank you for coming. He's a credible Baptist. Brother Benson Adetona is here. He is the chairman of Providence People's Congress, the newly registered political party. And he's a Baptist, to the glory of God. That's a national party. That's a platform for you to contest if they are blocking your way elsewhere and you are convinced of your vision. Please, help us tell them that we are tired with bloodshed. We can't bear it anymore. And nobody, they must not explain it away again. Let them take the bull by the horn. No more bloodshed. Enough is enough. Number 2 in your protest, you say, give us Leah Sharibu and all those in captivity, the Chibok girls and all those in captivity now, or forget 2019. We are already mobilizing ourselves that nobody will joke with the life of Nigerians any longer. And nobody is going to use any political manipulation to explain away crimes. A criminal is a criminal. We have enough legal codes to take care of criminals. Why are they going scot-free? I'm not a politician, but I hate injustice. We have no other country that we can call our own. And we want the story to change. Christians will never be treated as a second-class citizens any longer in Nigeria. So use the advantage of your education and the advantage of your population. Or the apartheid, the careless, carefree attitude. Or the apathy about voting, about election, we must cast away. It has not done us any good. I'm not speaking for anybody. But if I may take the case of Senator Memura, we knew the I don't want to be a politician without politics. I don't thank you for rejecting because you have been a senator of the Republic. After the president and the vice president call so you cannot. However, please, churches, the reason you submit is because to different political parties also know within the local different platforms will be involved. Many of them is successful. Enemies, and we should not them. I don't want to take much of your, but
praise the Lord. Address
Pastor joined politics. The Federal Republic because he wants to. I was given. I was also to serve as a special advisor. Well, I'm afraid to respond to the man who said, "Can all Christians have a consensus candidate?" The committee they can have set up is working on such things. But sometimes in politics, it is not just enough for the man to come to us and say he's a Christian. Well, in reality, he has not shown even he cares for us. So those in politics understand this very well. That's why I advocate in my teaching that before you even seek for political office, why don't you begin to get involved for a very long time? Don't just come because you're a Christian, you want to contest in 2019. And we have never seen you 2011 or 2011 to 2018. We are only going to see you in 2019. Things like that don't help at all because you will just come as a total stranger. And sometimes in politics, every community or every state and constituency have certain things they want to resolve. A situation where they have zoned office to certain communities and you want to come as a Christian to distort it. Some people can react and don't vote for you. Don't accuse them that they didn't vote for you as a Christian. Face the reality of your community. Work with your people. Let the decision be your people's decision, not just because you want to take advantage of political error. People do complain that voters' registration is cumbersome. I think I've explained the whole challenge we face is as much as we call on INEC to make it easy for people, we too must be patient. Sometimes we just want to go, the next minute we get our card and go away. Others will patiently wait for hours because they know how important getting voters' card is. Someone from my state specifically asked and talked about Kaduna South. I can say to you, if you want to be honest to yourself, the center where registration is holding in Kaduna South is more closer to the Christian-dominated center than the Muslim-dominated center. Sometimes some of us wait and we want it to come to our door before we do it. If what I know about INEC updating registration is anything to go about, going there to register do not mean you are going to vote in that place. In the registration information, you will tell them the area you are coming from. So they will add your name to the polling unit that is near your area. They are only centralizing the registration, which we wish they have made it even more flexible. But don't say, oh, because I go to Makera to register, I'm going to vote in Makera. For this updating of registration, you can register in Makera but end up voting in Barnawa. Because your information will show you are from Barnawa, not from Makera, since they restrict movement on days of election. But let me also say this. So that many people have moved to Kaduna South. And some of them were encouraged to move across. Wanted. If not, we will continue the business of grumbling and complaining. They didn't do this, they didn't. And in reality, that someone is saying that since voting is a game of number, can the church encourage members to give birth to more children? Conference to allow our people to give birth to many.